Hello, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We're into round 5 of Axis and Allies, playing as the Allies on the Pacific side with the Americans. And it's definitely harder, but things are starting to look up. The Russians are way too broke to do anything but buy 8 infantry for Russia. Well, because they have a single dollar left, let's get an artillery piece again, just to give them some teeth. Some offensive capability goes a long way, I promise. Now, I'd love to go attack these people, and you could, but, like, not even, right? So we need Caucasus and West back in our hands. And I'm not sure. I think we can push really deep, potentially into both of them, actually, now that I think about it. Like, they could attack us with all these planes, but if they go 1, 2, 3, then they can only land in either of these places, and they're going to have to take both. Here they have almost 2 hits, so we need to kill them completely turn 1, basically. Oh, we can almost not do this. Well, if we send the artillery piece, oh, we're gonna take casualties. But if we're taking the Caucasus, then I don't need to put a man into Persia. Oh, but I do need someone in Kazakh. Ah, so many Germans on the front line. What does this look like? This is 2 hits guaranteed, and this is 2 hits guaranteed. So we're going to take casualties, but it's fine. And this is technically income for us because the Americans took it back on our behalf. So we're actually going to have some more Doge this turn. Dude, that's actually a big deal. Thank you, America. West Russia, we took 2 casualties because they hit us on a frickin' 2. But then they missed us on the next one. And then Caucasus, we rolled a hit on a 1. Or no, they rolled a hit on a 1 again. Oh my god. They hit us on 2 and on a 1. What is this? What is this? And we don't have many infantry left. But thankfully it's our turn, and we get to deploy 8 more troops. So we're still funneling dudes out, but we're losing a lot of troops every round as well. But collecting $25 is enough for 7 men and an artillery. Okay, they are coming back at us. And basically all the places. Did they lose a battle? Oh, they lost Karelia. They got unlucky against us. Yeah, they cannot afford all these tanks. Oh, but 12 infantry in Eastern Europe? That's a lot of infantry. If we attack that, the infantry alone are 4 hits back. They are 4 hits back. But it makes me think, like, if we drop 6 things on them, how many could we hit? Because we could use our planes and our bombers. 1, 2, 3. We can't use these planes. We need to look at this. So first of all, well, we can't do that. We get 4 and 4. I'm pretty sure. But because I need more production capacity, we need to throw a factory down somewhere. And it's going to probably be in Norway, even though they have all these things coming at us. Because we have so much money as the UK. So the British combat move, let's say we go here and we drop 3 and 3. We come back and we hit them with 3 tanks, 3 men, a blitz, and this, and both of these. So the tanks are 2 hits. The bombers with the 2 infantry each, 1 bomber and 2 infantry is a hit. So that's 2 more hits. And then the 2 fighters are 2 hits. So we're attacking at 6 right now. And they're defending at, like I said, 4 with the infantry, and then like basically 5 with this. So we're 6 against 5, We have mostly infantry to take the brunt, which are only attacking on 1 for us. And then we also have the bombards coming in. So I think that's like a no-brainer good stuff for us. And then here we can blitz the Caucasus on behalf of Russia as we super bail from India and bring this AA gun with us. It's not great because they could still chase us down with their stuff, but they wouldn't be able to bring as much to the front. This submarine is in a not great place. So this is, like, the British are just crushing it. So we'll take our Algerian with us as we go up here. And, like, we're in such a good spot right now that we can afford to load up on even more duders into Western Europe. And that only gets 1 bombard with it. But, you know, 1 bombard, if we get decently lucky, then the tank and the men should do it. If we crush this German army, they will never financially recover from this. Okay. Oh, baby. Conduct naval bombard. Conduct naval bombard. So Eastern Europe, that's the big one. Oh, we hit them on a 5. Remain. We missed on a 5, but we only lost 2 tanks there. Remain. If we lose a plane instead of a tank, which is an awful trade for the record, we get the territory, and I'm actually going to do it. Oh, never mind. We had to go another round. I thought that they were dead. So I'm losing 2 bombers for this. Super not worth it, but I want to put the pressure on. Battle in Caucasus. We shouldn't have done it, quite frankly. We should have, like, retreated after, like, the first round once we started losing planes and tanks, but... and then Western Europe, we got lucky, and we hit them. We hit them good. So these 4 planes could attack this fleet, but again, sorry, there's not even 4. 2 of them are over here. If they're going to be using their planes like that, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. Do we want to abandon India completely? Nah, you know what? Yeah, we do. Bye, India. You can just walk in Japan. Which sucks because it means that they can easily focus on taking over parts of Africa, but, you know, taking out Germany somehow without the Americans is feeling pretty good. It's feeling at least okay. And done. And then a factory in Norway. And we can't use it yet, but next turn we'll be dropping a ton of boys. And the Germans have their hands full. They could threaten Karelia and stuff, and they could take out our tank, but no matter what they do, we can drop British soldiers on them basically anywhere. And now they have to focus on taking back Buryatia and stuff. They have a huge army in Tokyo. And they took Anglo-Egypt, as, you know, expected, but still sucks to see. Okay. So these transports could get to Hawaii? They really need to go home. With the bombers that the Japanese are putting out, they can kind of hit us. I guess they can't hit us in 64. 64 is a safe nook, I think, for us. So I think it's time to get into the whole manufacturing of troops game. Okay, so how do we do this? Probably going to need new and new, and that deploys a whole bunch of things. That's all I can think of for now, One Tooth. Because this bomber cannot get us in C-Zone 55 or 64. So we're just going to have a whole bunch of transports. doing transportation things. This fleet, as advertised, is going to go to the Solomon Islands, dropping some of this down. An infantry and an artillery and this plane is enough to do a bunch. And then they're going to hit us for 1, but then they're going to instantly super die. In fact, I'll even use the bombard from the ships. And then 5 planes. Because this plane I'm going to send to the Solomons. We have an extra bomber. 1, 2. This guy can move 2 spaces after. So I'm pretty sure I can bomb Manchuria, because there's no AA gun there, so I can do it safely, and then go Soviet Far East with my bomber, and be pretty safe. They could attack me with a bomber, but... Ooh, they could attack me with a bomber and some planes. So maybe I'll land this plane in Soviet Far East as well. They could also hit me with this bomber. Ugh, I don't really know if I like this bombing run, but there's not much other value to be had. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the American planes can't all attack Xinjiang or anything like that. So, okie dokie. They definitely don't have enough to attack my fleet, so that's why I'm thinking I can land some planes in Soviet Far East. So, are there any other Americans in the world that I care about? I could do a scoop into Alaska, grab the 1 guy, and bring him back. And honestly, I am a little bit worried about my bomber, so I will do that. Okie dokie. And I'll even send these 2 guys to Western Canada so they can be brought over next turn by one of these 2 convoys. Like I'm just gonna have convoys everywhere, man. It's gonna get messy. And done. Naval bombard. Naval bombard. We did 2 damage in Manchuria. Yakut, you died. We survived. Buryatia, you died. We lost a dude. And Solomon, we lost a guy again. Lame. But it's looking pretty... There's some extra green now, you know? Non-combat move. Let's land you here, 2 more planes there, and then a bunch of planes there. So now they cannot threaten this American bullshit. And we're bombing them just to be nasty. What's the resources tab say? The American... It's 70 to 78, so the Axis are up by 8 resources right now. Before the Americans collect. Now, realistically, the incomes conquered on the board right now are 100 to 60, which means we are on a good path, because they have not had Africa for enough of the game. It's going to start flipping quickly, but, you know, it is what it is. Also, after the Japanese turn is generally when you want to check the incomes, or after the German turn, because that's, you know, more realistic. Anyways, let's see what happens when I hit done, which is probably nothing, because there's nothing to be done. We're going to drop some more dudes down. More transports. More infantry. Alright, so there you go. That was the end of round 5, and now we're into round 6. I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. I'm having a blast right now. I hope you are too, and I'll see you in the next one.